Hey everybody, I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Esoteric Influences for the 31st day of August 2020. Well, I hope everybody had a good weekend. Uh, if you're still dealing with the virus, hang in there. And I don't know, this is a difficult time, isn't it? Some people aren't getting over this, and now some of our kids are back in school, and we're starting to see spiking there. So I really think at some point, this country, well, people in this country, some people have already figured it out, but others that haven't, you need to put the kids first here. If you can't think about anybody else, think about them, because they're the ones that matter here now. And we don't need our kiddos getting sick and having long-term complications from this, as some have had. So this is just a strange time. We're in kind of a Degas moment where one month is ending and now a new one is beginning, and we have a chance going forward here to rethink things and maybe reassess what our perceptions have been going thus far, from when this all started in January, because that's when it started, I guess, and we started hearing about it then. And here we are 9 months later, and we're still dealing with it, and that should not have happened. So hopefully beginning tomorrow, if not today, we can maybe come to another type of an understanding, just in reflection, going back and reflecting on things, and maybe we can begin tomorrow a new month with a different mindset here. But as for today, we have, given that it's the 31st, it's a 4 energy. So we have 8, 4, 22 are the numbers for today. 8, of course, is the spiritual warrior within, and leadership and practical matters, and seeing the bigger picture again. 4 is about structure and foundation. And 22, of course, is the cosmic builder. It's a master number for soul level manifestation, basically. So practical concerns are in focus today, as are establishing a secure foundation. And again, reassessment may be necessary. The 4s in tarot are a good one for that, to illustrate that, where we're taking stock and we're rethinking things. Everything is a projection of the mind, and so therefore, it all has to the change has to take place there, informed by spirit. So if you're on a life path of 4, it describes an individual who is reliable, patient, and committed to hard work. Today's rune is Thurzaz, the third rune of the Elder Futhark. Thor's rune looks like a thorn. It's got Isa. The vertical line is Isa, the Norn rune for the static realm, or the present moment, or will development, or focus, or spirit alignment. And then this sign is Kenaz, the light of spirit turned inward. So we're talking a fire element rune. We're talking Thor's hammer, defense, new beginnings. Again, the thorn, protection, opposition, impulsive behavior, the issues surrounding that, giants, chaos. It's also useful in weather magic. And I know this to be true because I've done it. Let's see. Also today, the moon is, or I should say, I forgot to do the interpretation. I'm sorry, I got caught up in the meaning of it. Breakthrough frustrations that may occur today by controlling impulsive behavior. Stand against opposition that isn't in service to safety and protection. With the violence that's happening now on the streets, it may be necessary to reassess how people are protesting. At some point, the protest has to give way to action. And in terms of action, what I mean by that is, now we got it. Okay, we've made our message known. We've made our opinion known. That we now need to say, okay, what are we all going to do about this? How are we going to invoke change? Do we lobby our Congress people? Do we go speak to our state representatives? Depending on what it is, we have to have a plan. It can't just simply be about marching, right? Marching eventually it's just something to do at that point, and we can't lose sight of what the real purpose of all of this is. So at some point, it has to shift into another type of protest, if you will. And maybe going out on the streets, and when there's going to be truck caravans, maybe that doesn't make any sense, right? Maybe you need to turn your back on this kind of nonsense and regroup and do and protest in a little bit different way that now is going to actually create some change. That you start writing down things that you want to accomplish and how you want to see that done, and then collectively submit that to people that can make that happen. If you need to run for office, do that. It's things like that where you can see there's a shift from taking to the streets to just to shifting it into another type of focus. And so that may be where we're at this point. But I don't know. It's just something to think about here. Again, we have to learn to control impulsive behavior. And sometimes we get on a roll and we don't see that, okay, we've accomplished our task. Now we need to shift this into some kind of doable, outcome for us. And so maybe that's where we're at now. I don't know. Maybe not, but it's just, I think, something to think about on this 4 energy day. So anyway, let's go on to the moon, where the moon is. The moon's in Aquarius, so you may feel the need to explore new interests and share what you learn with others, which could dovetail into what I was just talking about. However, decisions may be affected by an inconjunct between the moon and Mercury today, with your emotions factoring in as well. So maybe how you express yourself could be thwarted by emotions, basically. The emotions could get in the way of that. So again, use that 4 energy to kind of bring things to a standstill so you can rethink what you're doing. Human design aspects today: maintain order within the group to avoid attracting negative attention from others. Realize that this may be a moment in which you are your own oppressor, so have the courage to let go of insecurity and be willing to embrace guidance from others. Use informal channels if necessary, or if the situation seems unclear. Sometimes you don't know what's going on. You got to find out. And you might be able to ask somebody that's maybe in another place that other people aren't really looking, and just to kind of get an idea. Well, what's your take on it? What do you see happening here? How are our efforts actually going to result in anything, or are you just letting it all play out? Is there something else we could be doing, or I could be doing, you see, to get what I want done and accomplished? Are we to the stage where we need to move forward into a new level of experience here? So I think that oddly enough, I do this before I do this. I do this stuff for the week before I get it ready for this week. I do it for the esoteric influences I send out in the newsletter on Sundays. And so, excuse me. So I get all these together, and then, things happen afterwards. It's like I go back and I look at it, I go, oh, well, that's interesting. So anyway, again, I think that today is a day of reassessment and of just taking stock and figuring out, what are we really doing? And, if this isn't about the external things that are going on collectively, if this is just in your personal life, again, it's Monday, so take stock and figure out, okay, what I forget to do, and things like that. So just make sure that you're on, that you're heading down the road in the right direction, and that you've got things all buttoned up as we go into a new month tomorrow. Even if it's just taking a look at the bills and seeing what you got to do there, if you have anything left to pay for next month or whatever. I do. Most of my stuff goes out on the 1st, but sometimes I do things ahead of time as it comes in. So you just have to kind of take stock and say, all right, regroup. Tomorrow's the 1st. Where am I at, and all of that. So that's kind of the energy for today. So anyhow, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and do the Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune video. So look for that, both of them, to go up on the blog over there on the left side panel at imsteppingaside.com. And thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. Wear a mask around others if you're inside or out, no matter where you are. And blessed be. Get the right mouse to turn this off.